Hey guys, Youth Night is about to begin and it is Super Bowl Sunday, so we turned that into a theme for tonight's episode. Not sure if you watched the game or not, but it makes a great theme. So as we get started, I want to do a little bit of Super Bowl trivia with you. First things first, did you watch it and were you rooting for a team? Let me know in the comments. Super Bowl is most likely done by now, and I really hope that Tom Brady lost. That's all I really care about. But, okay, here's a couple of trivia questions for you. Put your guesses in the comments. The first one is, how many Super Bowls have there been? What number is today's Super Bowl? They all use Roman numerals, so it can be a little bit confusing if you don't remember, like in middle school or elementary school when you learned Roman numerals. But what number was it? What do you think? 55. Okay. How long is the average Super Bowl? From kickoff till the final play, including halftime shows and commercials. How long is the average Super Bowl? It is 3 hours, 44 minutes. That's pretty crazy when there's actually only 60 minutes of actual gameplay. It's a lot of replays and it's a lot of commercials, but they're good, right? Okay, how about this one? Which team has the most Super Bowl wins? If you don't know it, you can just guess. And if you don't really even know many football teams, just make one up. I love reading those in the comments. All right, what do you think? This was actually a bit of a trick question. It's a tie between the Steelers and the Patriots, aka the Deflatriots. So, okay, now here's another one. There are 4 teams in the NFL who have never been to a Super Bowl ever. Can you name any or all of those 4? What do you think? All right. They are, you ready for this? The Browns, of course, the Lions, the Texans, and the Jaguars. All right. Well, those are all the trivia questions about the actual teams that played in the Super Bowl. I want to talk about one of the most exciting parts of the day, and that is the food. That's right. The most exciting part of any Super Bowl party is the food. Next question is this to you. How many pizzas does Domino make just for Super Bowl Sunday? And just Domino's. How many pizzas do you think that they make for the one day of the Super Bowl? You probably need to guess higher. Whatever you're guessing, I'm just saying you need to guess higher. It is 2 million. 2 million pizzas, just Domino's, just for that one day. That is crazy. But next question is even crazier. And that is, how many chicken wings do Americans eat on Super Bowl Sunday? What do you think? That's right. How many chicken wings do Americans eat on Super Bowl Sunday? This one blew me away a little bit. 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. There are only 350 some Americans, men, women, children, and the elderly in the United States. So 1.4 billion is insane. Anyways, I hope you had some pizza and some chicken wings or just any good food. Whether you watched the game or not, thank you so much for tuning in to Youth Night. We're going to have a great time together tonight. We're actually going to keep with our theme of Super Bowl Sunday and hear some testimonies, some stories from the lives of some NFL players, as well as having a little food showdown between Nick and myself. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, it's time to get started. Roll the intro. Welcome to Youth Night. My name is Josh and I will be your host. Tonight it is the big game special episode. We are doing some special football related things because it's the Super Bowl. Kind of a big deal to some people if you're not into sports. Well, you know, that's okay. We'll still let you watch tonight. Maybe. Yeah, don't worry, we will. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything coming out of our channel. We're so excited that you have tuned in. It's going to be a great night. We had a first this past week in the Annex Youth Ministry. We had our first ever one night, a gathering here at Grace Community Fellowship. It was a blast. Thank you to everyone who showed up and came. It was phenomenal. And I am so excited about our next one night coming up at the end of this month. The last Sunday in February, 6:15 to 8:45 here at Grace. We are working on an amazing theme for this month's one night. You're just going to have to tune in next week and find out. Speaking of things coming up, next week's Youth Night lands on Valentine's Day. Oh, it's perfect! We're going to have a special Valentine's Day edition of Youth Night. It's going to be incredible. We're starting off a brand new series called Somebody to Love. We are going to have some great games and giveaways, and you are not going to want to miss it. So make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned in to Youth Night. All right, we got something special for you next. Check it out. All right, background change because you know what time it is. It's game time, and tonight, bigger than the Super Bowl, it's the biggest food eating competition showdown of the year, the decade, and should I say the century. Myself and employee Nick are facing off head to head with a classic McNugget eating competition. The rules are super simple. 2 minutes on the clock. You get one drink and some sauces to see how many nuggets we can put back. Simple as that. All right, now here's what I need you to do as we get started. I need you to guess and comment who you think is going to win. Is it me or is it Nick? All right, so put your guesses, maybe even throw in how much you think we're gonna eat. McNuggets in 2 minutes. Here we go.
Hello everyone, it's employee Nick, and I'm about to do something that I never thought I would do, but I'm doing it for the people. So, Josh Mitchell, J-Mitch, aka The Enemy, has challenged me to an eating competition, so I'm going to get into these nugs in a second, but first off I want to say, you're coming for the intramural champ, buddy, and you know what that means? It means I gotta flex on you a little bit, because I won the intramurals 3 years in a row, back to back to back, that's volleyball, but I'm gonna eat you up just like I'm eating up people on the court. But also, even beyond that, oh, you weren't ready for this? You weren't ready for the wardrobe change? I've got to do it for Brooklyn, baby, because that's my baby girl. Anyways, yeah, that's my wife. Got to represent the wife because, you know, like sometimes when you're going into a fight or something, you say, hey, shout out my wife or my girl. So my girl Brooklyn, this one goes out to you. If I embarrass myself, I'm embarrassing both of us, just, you know. And then lastly, I want to show a picture of one of my favorite people, Matt Stoney, and he's the guy with the headband, you can tell him. And then right there is Joey Chestnut, and I want to show this picture to represent that Matt Stoney is one of my favorite competitive eaters. He's the GOAT. He also finishes second, like, every single time, like, without a doubt. And I'm not doing that because I feel like I'm going to finish second today, but I just want you to know that no matter who finishes first, even if I get second, Jesus always comes first.
All right, guys, it's Josh. It's time to go. Got my nugs here, tell a little bit about my strategy, a little behind the scenes. Went with a half iced tea, half sweet tea. I think that's a good combo for me. And I went with the barbecue sauce. Not too heavy, not too light. It's gonna really help those nuggets get down the old gullet. And you just saw employee Nicholas just embarrass himself by taking off all his clothes on camera. Well, guess what? I'm putting on clothes because it's time to go to work, son. So I'm putting on my work jacket, and it is time to put in work, all right? Nick, you are going down. You've never seen J. Mitch smash nuggets like you're about to see him smash nuggets. So, all right, not even a competition, really. So, I'm ready. Let's rock and roll.
3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1, go. So good. I haven't eaten anything today. We'll catch up on that bad boy. Two-handed, look at that. I already feel the saturated fat kicking my liver. Oh boy. Let's go.
Set it down.
You're the presence of greatness. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gosh dang it. I didn't even get to the second box, but hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'm sure that I just crushed Josh. He doesn't know it yet, but here's one for you.
Woo! 17. Man, the barbecue sauce was really money on that one. So, I don't know the last time I had chicken nuggets. I'm gonna feel that one later, so. Cheers. Good job, Nick.
They're still delicious too. Didn't go too fast. That's the point of this. Never go too fast. Enjoy your food.
Well, it is Super Bowl Sunday, and by now, I really hope that Tom Brady has lost. If not, God is still good, but tonight, we're doing something a little different. We're going to hear some testimonies from 3 NFL players. They each have a unique story that they want to share with us tonight. Hey, let's get to it. Let's hit the overly hyped intro. Here we go. Our first story tonight comes from a Campbell Award Trophy winner. He played in the NCAA national title game. He shares his story of openness and vulnerability. Here is Sam H.O.
Freshman year, University of Texas, college campus, Jester Hall, 3rd floor, right outside of the elevator. Trevor Walker, that is third string quarterback, just waiting, reading his Bible. And so I stopped, and then maybe he stopped me, and we just start reading a little bit, talking a little bit, but it was at that point I said, okay, something's different about this guy. He said, if you want to be real about it, let's just be real about it. Let's live out our faith on this campus, on the football team with the guys. And it wasn't just me or him. We had about 10, 15, 20 guys on our team that wanted something more. The Spirit of God just erupted inside of me, and I felt like a lion. I felt like I was just a lion in those grounds. The men there had encountered Jesus. It was the last thing I ever would have expected going to a prison. And I still keep in touch with a bunch of those guys today from that prison. I went back the year after. It doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're in prison, if you're a football player, it doesn't matter who you are, God can restore and redeem. And I saw that with my own eyes. So I just signed a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract in the NFL. I mean, it was like, yeah, we did it, man. God is good. Everything's gonna be okay. And it wasn't. Right around that time, just the seams started to fall apart in my life. My relationship with my wife, Ngazi, blessing, right? I wasn't loving her the way I was called to love her. Even with my kids, I found myself getting angry with them often or being anxious all the time. My parents just seemed like it was just a falling out with a lot of people, everyone and everything around me. And I was sitting down at a restaurant in Chicago with one of my buddies, and I finally just got a chance to tell him, I was like, dude, I'm struggling. I am not doing well at all. And as I'm sharing with him everything that was going on, I'm sharing, and I started to cry. And he looks at me and he says, it's really nice to see you, Sam. He said, as long as I've known you, I've never seen this side of you. I've always seen the smile and the jerseys, and I've never seen this side of you, but it's good to know that you're human. I don't know what I looked like, but I just was exhausted. I felt like I was carrying a lot of weight. And my teammate had walked in and he saw me. He says, hey, Acho, are you good? I looked at him and said, you know what? I'm not. He said, I don't know what's going on right now, Sam, but whatever it is, you need to let it out. I look at him and all of a sudden now I'm in the locker room now and the tears start to come. He looks at me and says, hey, Ach, it's nice to see you. So many of us, we get trapped and caught, and God's like, no, I see you. Let me move this weight off you. The weight I've been trying to carry was this weight of perfection. Right? I have it all together. I have all the answers. I'm the star. I'm the guy. I'm great. And God's like, I didn't have you to carry that. I want you to get to know me and to spend time with me. That's all I want. I am enough, not you. I am enough. It is so easy to pretend, to act like we have it all together and put on our, these figurative masks that we wear and be like, yeah, I'm fine, or I'm good. It's so easy. But God is not a God of pretending. God is a God of freedom. The Bible talks about taking up your cross daily and following me. Am I going to take up my cross and be real, be authentic? Or am I going to pretend and act like I got it all together and act like I have all the answers? It's a daily decision.
Wow, what a fantastic story. Honestly, I would think that if you ever made it to the NFL, your life has to be so easy from then on out. Well, our next testimony is from a player who made all of his dreams come true, but then still had some incredible struggles, but God saw him through. Next, we're going to hear from a first-round draft pick from Oregon State University, Brandon Cooks.
One of her friends was dating one of my teammates, and she would come to the field. I was able to take her on a date, and then from there on, you give me the chance, then it's over from there. And so we've been together since my junior year. I've been a headache probably, but she loves me. I love her, and she's a special girl. From there on, we were trying to get pregnant. We knew we wanted to start a family right away once we got married. And so we were trying since 18, and it wasn't going too well for both of us. Like, we just got to keep having faith. Well, unfortunately, they said we weren't going to be able to have kids naturally, because their tubes were messed up, and so we had to remove those. So then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. When you hear that, I'm like, then how can you have kids? Over 100 shots for the egg retrieval, and once we did that, she still had to stay on the shots to trick the body, saying that she's pregnant. And there was hundreds of more shots. We went to New Zealand in January, right after the season, and she had her shots, her syringes. Just if she missed a day or two, really a day, then it messed up the process. She's getting shots on the plane. She's like, it's whatever time it is, I gotta go do my shot. We're on the plane. We land, gotta do my shots. And I'm like, all I can do is just comfort her, really. In the process that women have to go through that do the IVF, they're warriors. There's without a doubt. And we get the call, and they're like, well, and we're like, oh, they go, you're pregnant. And we're like, wow. But then we look at each other like, really? Like, this the way we find out? Like, naturally, like, okay, take a pregnancy test. So then we get home, she's like, I'm still taking a pregnancy test. We're still gonna take the photo for memory. We head over to the hospital. It's about 3 a.m. now. And on our note, she goes, if I ask for epidural, that's just because I'm in pain. Encourage me not to get it. So we get to the point, she's like, I want the shot. I'm reading off the notes, like, you told me, like, you got this. No, I want it. I'm like, okay. The love that Christ has for us, that God has for us, was magnified when I had my own child. I now understand, like, it's no brainer why God loves us so much now. It's just a different meaning now. It's a different meaning.
Whew, man, that story hits me right on my daddy feels. Man, what a powerful story of God's goodness and provision. All right, we have one final testimony from a Super Bowl champion, a Pro Bowler, and a 10-season league veteran. Hope you enjoy the story from Carson Wentz.
Grew up in Bismarck, North Dakota, was extremely active in sports. That was pretty much my life. Parents got divorced when I was 7. I was a good kid. I stayed out of trouble. We went to church. It was kind of just something we did. It's kind of something we checked the boxes, so to speak. And I thought I was right with God because I was a good kid. I listened to what my dad said. I didn't want to get in trouble, didn't want to miss sports, kind of all those things, all those factors in my mind made me think I'm good. And then I go to college, and at that point it's, okay, you're no longer in your parents' house. It's time to grow up, make your own decisions. I remember one of our first practices, it was a senior quarterback at the time named Dante Perez. He ends up asking me, hey man, you ever read the Bible? It was our first practice. I just got done learning about two-jet protection and what the X has on the certain plays and all of these things. My head's spinning. And he wants to talk about the Bible, and I'm kind of taken aback. At the same time, though, I was like, here it is, because I knew God was kind of moving. And from that moment on, him and I started talking. He was a mentor to me. We read the entire New Testament and met up, at least once a week and talked through the Word. And it just came to life to me. It was really eye-opening to me. I always said I was a believer in Jesus, but I didn't really know what he did for me. I thought it was all about what I could do for him. And when that kind of mindset was flipped on its head, and that it was already done for me, and that it was a thing called grace, and I could live for him freely and not out of rules and obligation, it just changed my life. We met actually in the country of Haiti, and she was there serving with the organization called Mission of Hope. And this was after my rookie year. Went down on a mission trip with the church that we go to out here in New Jersey. We ended up talking, and I just to see another woman that was truly after God's heart in that moment, and trying to serve him the way that I was trying to live as well. About a year and a couple months later, we were married. And now we have a daughter who's 7 months old now, and she is an absolute joy. It's been quite the journey together so far. We were all on this high as a team. I was in the MVP conversation, and our team was, we just clinched the NFC East and all sorts of good things going, and my season was done. And for me, I've had a fair share of injuries, but never something like that. Never something where I literally had zero control of my life. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get off the couch to go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't. Just complete control had to be surrendered. Believe me, I wasn't the best patient. I was frustrated. I was crabby. It was a trying time. But to look back at it and to see, we go on to win the Super Bowl. Everyone knows that story, and I was not out there. And to walk through that, obviously it was tough at the time, and I still look back and think it was a tough time, but I know God was moving in my life, and he wanted me to know that he loves me so much that my relationship with him is far more important than winning a Super Bowl, than being on that stage in my uniform, than playing in that game, but ultimately playing for his glory and saying, God, your will be done. And just how God has had his hand from that moment on in my life, and I thank him for it. For me, I've always been a guy that wants to have control, and my selfishness and my desire for control has to decrease every moment, and it has to just allow God to increase in my life, to try my best to be Spirit-led and not Carson-led. Sometimes I just look at my daughter and I kind of laugh, because I'm like, she's mine. And the way I love her that I can't even explain or understand, I know doesn't even compare to how much God loves us. Almost makes me emotional sometimes, because I'm just like, this is my daughter, and God, you gave your son to die for me. And I'm like, I would never let anything happen to this little girl, because she is mine. Like, because of how much he loves me, he was willing to allow his son to go through the agony of dying on that cross. And I think that is when the peace just rushes over me, and I think, all right, God, there's so much more at play than the X's and O's of football, than the highs and lows of wins and losses, and that gives me peace.
Well, I don't think I could say it any better than Carson already did with his testimony, but God loves you so much that he sent his son Jesus to die for you so that you could be with him forever, have a relationship with him, to draw peace and love and hope from now and forever. Well, we've heard some incredible stories, and now it is time to head into our small groups. So tonight, we are just going to kick back and enjoy small group time together, talking about whatever you like, life, football, just enjoying your time together. So your small group leader will be reaching out to you with how to get connected. If you would like to connect with a small group or want more information on small groups, just put a comment in the chat below, and we will get you hooked up. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this special episode of Youth Night. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and I cannot wait to see you next week for our Valentine's Day special. All right, I love all of you. Hope you have a fantastic time in small groups as well as a great week. Bye, buddies.